She's getting her molds. She'll like that a lot.
Yeah, it's more
Now,
yeah, they didn't take my next time. I'm going to kill one because it's like, we use this sleeping bag. There's a coupon out there available. Coupon you get. There you go.
call this regular meeting to order. Call roll.
Mayor Querom.
Here.
Councilmember Newman.
Here.
Gomez.
Here.
McCall.
Here.
McCransky.
Here. Please stand and join us in the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We started tonight as usual. We have any public comments? Okay, we'll go to approval minutes.
Thank you, Mayor. I make a motion that we approve the minutes from our regular council meeting on June 6, 2022.
Motion's been second. Comments? Call roll.
Councilmembers Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky. Mayor Querom.
Aye. I'll go to approval invoices in City Clerk Nelson.
In the Department of Accounts and Finances, we have invoices this period totaling $87,680.69. In the Department of Streets and Public Improvements, we have invoices totaling $159,419.57. In the Department of Public Safety, we have invoices totaling $444,958.58. And then in the Department of Public Property and Utilities, we have invoices totaling $907,711.01 for a grand total of $1,599,769.85. Mayor, all council members present have confirmed their reviews of all invoices and now are submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve the invoices as presented.
Second.
Motion's been second. Comments? Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Querom.
Aye. Now go to regular business in City Clerk Nelson.
Next on the agenda is the second and final reading of Ordinance O-22-012. This is an ordinance amending the tree code. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this ordinance and it is submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve ordinance O-22-012.
Second.
Motion has been second. Comments? Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Querom.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is suspension of the requirement for a second reading for ordinance O-22-013. This is an ordinance authoring the sale of obsolete fire trucks. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this directive and so on and so forth.
I move that we suspend the requirement for the second reading of ordinance O-22-013.
Second.
Motion's been second. And the reason for this?
Well, the reason for this is that because they're obsolete fire trucks, it's a very limited market. Hardly anybody, we don't get a lot of call for these. We do have a couple people that are interested, and we just wanted to expedite the process and get these out of our inventory. We need the warehouse space, and and plus we have new trucks coming, so time is kind of the essence to move these along.
Okay, the motion has been seconded. Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Querom.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is ordinance O-22-013, authorizing the sale of obsolete fire trucks. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this ordinance and is submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve ordinance O-22-013.
Second.
Motion's been second. Comments? Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Querom.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is Resolution R-22-024. This is a resolution authorizing the selling of surplus real estate. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this resolution and it is submitted for disposition.
I Move that we approve resolution R-22-024.
Second.
Motion for second. Pete?
These are properties, there's 3 properties that were inherited by us with the sale of Prairie Memorial Hospital. These are properties that OSF did not need in their inventory, so we got them from OSF when the sale occurred. The 3 properties are 503 Park Avenue East, which is really just green space at the corner of Homer and Park Avenue East. The city is asking $32,500 for that. The second parcel also is green space. It's the open lot east of the easterly parking lot of the hospital, just past the intersection of 5th Street and Park Avenue East. The city is asking $53,000 for that. And finally, the third property is 902 South 5th Street. This is a property which is improved with a 2-story house and a detached 2-car garage, and it has a 300-foot deep lot. Nice piece of property, and it could be yours for $115,000 if you don't get outbid. So this will be published in the paper. We'll receive bids until July 18th, at which time they'll be open, and we'll just see who the lucky people are.
Any further comments from the council? Okay, motion has been second. Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
Lukransky.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is Resolution R-22-025. This is a resolution accepting a bargaining agreement with the IBEW Local 51 out of Springfield, representing the water and wastewater departments, the employees of those departments. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this resolution, and it is submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve resolution R-22-025.
Second.
Motion has been second. Comments? Or Teresa, actually, when you...
With the first one here for water and wastewater, just you have a insert that would take place as the one that's actually in your packet for the wage scale. The one that's in your packet is actually the old one, so the replacement one is what was settled on. It's a 4-year contract. The internal parts of the contract, there wasn't anything major that had changed within. Obviously, one part we typically get bogged down a little bit more with is on the wages. As you can see, these are pretty much in line with what streets and police also settled with. So we're at a 4% for the first year, 4% second year, 3.5% for the third year, and a 3.5% for the fourth year. We were glad to get a 4-year contract. There were some talks that went a little bit shorter, but we did get to agree on that, so that helped Pete and I feel a little bit more comfortable. So.
We also look at, other communities, so there are comparable, we'd be taking into consideration comps, so it's pretty much in line.
We felt the first 2 years at a 4% typically is higher than what we've settled with in the past, but given the times with the economy and stuff, we felt that's a fair. Any questions on the contract?
Okay, motion's been second. Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall. Aye. Lukransky.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is Resolution R-22-026. This is accepting a bargaining agreement with the IBEW Local 51, representing the electric generation and electric distribution employees. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this resolution, and it is submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve resolution R-22-026.
Second.
Motion has been second. Teresa?
Only thing I'll add to this one is obviously they're same union, so they were settled at the same time, so let's go hand in hand. Same rates for each 4 years at 4%, 3.5%, 3.5% for 4 years, and everything else is pretty much in line with what has been in the past. So, any questions?
Any questions? Motion has been second. Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall. Aye. Lukransky.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is Resolution R-22-027. This is a resolution accepting the bid and award awarding of a contract to Cruise Concrete of Spring Valley, Illinois, for installation of a sidewalk along Peru Street from Homer Street to the library. It's misspelled in there as Marion. It really meant to be Homer. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this resolution and is submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve resolution R-22-027.
Second.
Motion has been seconded. Teresa?
This is actually from a grant from a couple of years ago. We've had a couple extensions on this from DCEO. This is separate from Safe Routes to School that you see going on right outside here. The DCEO grant was actually $25,000, so unfortunately we only have $25,000 that covers this $107,750.75. So that means that we have to come up with that difference. Obviously, it's not something we budgeted for. The last time this went out for bid, it was extremely high as well. The work, the concrete, it was higher than what we expected. So we did have the option of not doing the project or going forward and trying to figure out how to fill that gap. After thinking about it, it was determined let's go forward with the project, utilize the grant, because that can hurt you in the future if you do apply for another one. So we do want to fulfill the grant. I worked with Quinn on some numbers. We'll make this work. So we're going to get those sidewalks done. We've also heard a lot from the public that want to see these sidewalks get done. So we'll get this one done. We'll really think about some of the projects in the future when we apply for these types of grants, because you can't anticipate that the cost is going to go up as much as it did. So.
And we have a while yet to utilize these funds, like a year and a half. Is that
so next spring?
That's right.
So we've had a couple of extensions. So.
Pete, in your defense, I'll say that in the actual ordinance it does say Homer.
I knew it was in there somewhere.
He did do the ordinance.
Thank you.
The agenda.
That's where it counts.
Any comments from council? Okay, the motion has been seconded. Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall. McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye. Now we'll go to the city manager report. Thanks, Pete.
The police pension report for April 2022 is in your packet. Questions on that? You also have at the very last page of your packet the notice for bids for steel siding. This is actually the building just up there on the other side of the railroad tracks. City of Princeton seeking bids to re-site a storage building at 16 East Railroad Avenue in Princeton, which is the corner of North Main Street and Railroad Avenue. Contractors will remove and replace all existing steel siding and replace with new steel siding and trim. There will be two sections to this, a Scope A and a Scope B, which will both require to submit a bid separately for each of those. Scope A will be to remove existing siding and rake trim, and Scope B will be frame-in overhead doors on the west and south side. Prevailing wage will apply, and contractor must provide proof of insurance with the bid. No fax or email bids will be accepted. Bids must be submitted to the city clerk here at City Hall no later than 10 a.m. on Thursday, July 7th, 2022. Any questions on that building?
This is the old recycling building up there on the West Railroad tracks.
So the idea we would like to see is beautify that building a little bit better. It's kind of it's out there for everybody to see, the Amtrak train to see every time it goes through. So Jeff agrees to let's spruce that building up a little bit more. So
We've also talked a little bit about possibly removing the asphalt parking on the north side and putting that as green space, grass and plant some trees there, make it look real nice. So that's something we're looking at.
Actually, it's in our budget to do this year.
Good.
Get around the grades.
Okay.
maybe some welcome to Princeton signage somewhere so they see that on the train. Would be nice to have. So. Any questions? Lastly, City Hall will be closed on Monday, July 4th, in observance of Independence Day. Monday and Tuesday garbage and recycling will be collected on Tuesday, July 5th. And please have your items out for collection by 5 a.m. on July 5th.
Anything else from council? Patrice? Okay, thank you, Teresa. Under Mayor Report, I have a board appointment for the Historic Preservation Committee.
I move that we appoint board members to the Historic Preservation Committee. Michael Susky and Abby Taylor will fill unexpired terms ending December 31st, 2023, and Catherine Unzinger will be reappointed for a 3-year term ending on December 31st, 2024. Did you all of them?
Let's, do it separately. So we just
I need a motion on those.
Yeah, we need a second.
Second.
Motion's been second. Comments? Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall. Aye. McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Quinn.
Aye.
I have more appointments for the Pedestrian and Bicycle Commission. There's 6 individuals here. The first two, Matt May and Whitney Taut, are going to be reappointed to a 3-year term ending June 30th, 2025. Luann Elliott and Brittany Loudermilk, were being reappointed to a 3-year term expiring on June 30th, 2024. And then Elaine Wolf and Elliot Wolf will be filling positions for an unexpired term ending June 30th, 2023. That was the motion.
Motion has been second. Comments? Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall. Aye. McCransky. Aye. Mayor Quinn.
Aye. I've got a couple more items on the mayor. First of all, it's not listed here, but the garbage totes for our new garbage pickup that's going to be taking place are going into effect hopefully later this fall. I have started to be delivered. I think we've received 2 of 3 or maybe 2 of 4 semi-loads.
7.
7 loads?
7.
Yeah. So it's a total of 3,500 totes, and we do have room and we are storing them. So we're getting a load, I think, every other day until we get them all. So, and then we'll be addressing the recycling totes later down the road. We'll be purchasing those new a little later. So those are starting to come in. Nothing's going to be going out. I've had comments that people ask me if they're going to be getting a letter regarding how they get these. Right now, it's too soon for that. We will be advising residents of how we're going to pass these things out and who wants what. Again, that'll come later this year. So we also, at the last meeting, we talked about doing a 30-day trial on parallel parking. People didn't like parallel parking, so we made a change, and it's the next best thing. Instead of parallel parking, we'll do the trial. Will be a 30-degree parking stalls in that same area between the courthouse and Columbus Street. Actually, also including in front of Soldiers and Sailors Park. We'll be doing something in front of the courthouse as well. The 30-degree, right now we have 45-degree parking. 45-degree parking, you basically pull into a 45-degree parking stall. The 30-degree parking you actually drive into. You have a much wider berth into the rear. When you back out, you can see. You won't be inching out to see who's coming from behind. And the other thing, this nice thing about the 30-degree parking is that if the vehicle to your left is so far ahead of you and the vehicle to your right is so far behind you that when you open your doors, you're not going to hit the cars. So it's you don't have to worry about door dings. It's a unique look. It'll look pretty different, but we'll give it a shot, see how it looks. I think people will like it, and we'll be able to keep the diagonal parking.
Have we figured out, are we going to lose anything there?
Yeah, we'll lose some parking.
How much?
Nothing like the parallel parking. The parallel parking was going to be, turned out to be
More than
in excess of, in excess of 20 anyway. So with this, and depending on also what we do when we do the final, if we end up taking stalls away, like at some intersections, so when people are coming off of Marion, they're trying to look to the left, it's sometimes difficult to see. I don't know if we'll have that problem with the 30-degree, because it'll be such a shallower angle. So we'll see how that plays out. Maybe we have to take some stalls away. That's a possibility, but I'm thinking maybe not.
Have we figured out what we're going to lose just in that block span, though?
Well, you're going to lose it at the end, so you might lose 2 to 4. But I think people will like the, and plus it also will allow 2 additional feet per driving aisle.
Have you seen it anywhere else?
You know, I've seen it, I haven't seen it, personally seen it, but I've seen it in my research. And I've seen how the angle works and how the, how the cars fit in. And it's, the nice thing about it, you actually drive into these instead of pulling them. And it's kind of unique.
Okay.
It'll be a unique look. It'll be weird. So we'll just give it a shot and see what happens. And we'll probably move it up. Quinn gets back to work. Right now he had knee surgery, so he's off work. But when he comes back, he'd like to get going on this. So this could be moved up a couple of weeks. So let everybody know. And the polls. So I was going to ask Jeff Mangridge to give us an update as to what happened this last Friday with the flag poles on South Main. Yeah, and make sure the mic is on. We've got, there's a lot of interest in the community about what happened. And,
Hit the button until it turns green there.
Okay. Yeah, it was kind of a disappointing day, but I'm glad we did what we did, considering what happened. Obviously, about 8:30, we went up there, put the flag up. Everything looked good. Except I was a little concerned how much the poles were flexing. I went back and called our contact at the company we bought them from, and he rechecked his notes, and he said not to worry, we're good for 20-mile-an-hour winds. Well, obviously we didn't have anywhere close to that until we have a weather station on the power plant, and we did have a gust at 11:08 of 20.8. But obviously by that time, I had gotten a phone call about 11 o'clock where one of our guys was down there doing a little touch-up work, and he noticed the cracks. He called me and said, we got a problem. Can you come down here? So I got down there, seen the cracks, called the distribution guys and said, get down here, we need to get these flags down. Well, obviously the pole fell before we were able to get the flag down. Went back, talked to the manufacturer again, told him what happened, sent him some pictures. He did not get back to me until this morning, and he just said he's in contact with the manufacturer of the pole. We'll see what they say. I hope they make this all right between the manufacturer and the company. And the company we've dealt with for years. We got the poles out at Flags of Freedom from them. So they're not a fly-by-night. They're a reputable company. So I certainly hope that this all turns out well.
and you saw cracks there were cracks in both poles.
Both poles.
It wasn't just the one that's there. Actually, the one on the east side is where you saw maybe the first. Well, I'm not
No,
sure.
the west one is the one we seen first, and that was the worst one. Because I actually have pictures of both cracks before the pole fell. And like I said, I sent those back to our contact at Simmons, and he was a little bit surprised too. So.
And this is also, this company provided us these poles, and they also provided us the flag that flew that
Correct.
day,
Yep.
because that's the way the whole system is set up.
Correct. And this is not the first time they've done this. They said they've done this in several other places. So they knew exactly what we were doing, because like I said, they told us the flag that was going between the two poles.
And this is a perforated flag, right, Jeff? So
It did. It did have some holes cut in it to help some of the wind, but it was still catching a lot of wind.
Sure.
Any other comments?
So Jeff, do you have ideas that you want to share with them for alternatives, or what we can do moving forward?
Well, I would, after seeing what happened, I think steel is probably the way to go in the future.
And these were aluminum.
These were aluminum. And I think if I remember right, they're 10-inch at the base and 4-inch at the top. Maybe we need to be a little beefier all the way up. Because I certainly don't want to put poles in there and have something like this happen when there's a crowd there. That would just be horrible.
Would they have to redo the base?
Hope not.
Oh, okay.
It would all depend on the size of the pole going in the ground, if it would fit in the same tube.
Well, I will say that as busy as our Main Street is on Fridays at 11 o'clock in the morning, it is a miracle that that pole fell and there was no property damage and no injuries, obviously. I mean, it's a miracle that, you know, I mean, it's
And the thing is, when I went down there, I parked right beside that pole. I no sooner pulled out into a parking spot so the guys could come down and crank it down, and it fell. And yeah, the fact that there was no traffic is unbelievable.
well, and, you know, and it's also very extremely fortunate that, because usually the flags, well, every time in the past you wait till you close the street to put the flag up, and that would have been at 4 o'clock. And had that occurred, I mean, we'd be dealing with a much more serious situation. So we're extremely grateful and very fortunate that things ended as they did. So everything, this, as I said, I had mentioned this before, this is not a setback. This will be, or this is a setback, it's not a defeat. Flag will fly over Main Street again. So,
yeah, and just to add on top of that, you know, I mean, we all seen what happened there, and that's a lot of the reason why we don't want to use the bucket trucks. We can see the strain that was being put on those trucks, and those are expensive trucks that we don't want damaged either. Not that I want to see a pole fall over either, but
well, it'll be interesting to see what they come up with as a solution, Jeff. If they just want to replace it with the same poles that they can.
I don't think we would let that happen.
Yeah. Okay. So
unless they find a manufacturing flaw.
Yes.
Something. So,
you know, another thing, you know, to Jerry's point, I've heard from and read a lot of stuff about people saying that, you know, the city didn't have this thing, it should have been engineered, and we know, you know, we didn't engineer it, and of course this is what happens. And you know, this company, Siemens, this is their business. They are engineers. I mean, this is what they do when they bring these, you know, these poles up and everything. I mean, everything is engineered. So
They do some all over the country.
absolutely.
They do.
Everything.
I guess I focus on the comments of how pleased people were to see it upstairs.
It did look impressive when it was up.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Great.
We'll see it again.
How high off the ground is the bottom of the flag, Jeff?
The poles were 50 foot out of the ground, so there should have been about 20 foot from the road to the, and that was intentional.
Sure.
So we can leave it up in traffic and drive underneath it. Now during the concert, they obviously could get lowered if we wanted to.
So the pole just buckled, you know what happened?
I think the stress of it started cracking. There's little handholds on both of them. Where the winch is in there, and right underneath those handholds is where it started cracking.
And so that's what did they say that's why it fell? Have they? They haven't said.
They haven't said anything back to us yet. I just sent them the information, and we're waiting to see what the manufacturer has to say about it.
It's a combination of probably the stress factor they might have had, and maybe some of the wind, even though it was perforated flags. Combination of that, I think, might have.
Yeah. But, you know, obviously, we had the gust right when the pole came down, but prior to that, we weren't even close.
Right.
So why did the cracks start to begin with?
Any further comments, questions?
I like steel.
Yeah. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Appreciate the update. Okay, so we'll move on. Do we have any old business tonight?
Tracy, do we have an update on the garbage trucks yet?
Nothing new.
Was it originally October?
They said fall.
They said
So, yep.
okay.
We got a little bit of time yet.
Any other old business? Any new business tonight? Public comment? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn and reconvene.
Now that we adjourn our regular meeting this evening and prepare for our next meeting of the City Council, which will be on Tuesday, July 5th, 2022, 7 o'clock at City Hall.
Motion has been second. Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky. Aye. Mayor Brown.
Aye. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for attending.
Yeah.